I now request Dr. Ruby Dhalla, a well-known Canadian politician, for a special address.
Keep your thoughts positive, for your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive, because your words become your behavior. And keep your behavior positive, because your behavior becomes your habits. And keep your habits positive, because your habits become your values. And keep your values positive, because your values then become your destiny. Distinguished guests, honorable ministers, parliamentarians, many of our distinguished guests in the audience, these words were those spoken by Mahatma Gandhi. And as we gather here today for the 6th Global Economic Summit with a theme on women entrepreneurship, on women empowerment, on innovation and capacity building, and we take a look here at the audience with guests from all over the world, we all realize that it is our words, our behaviors, our habits, and our values that have defined the destiny of so many of us in our journeys. In our journeys as entrepreneurs, as intellects, as politicians, as activists, as mothers, as daughters, as wives, as sisters, as sister-in-laws, as aunties, and for the men, as fathers, as brothers, as uncles, and grandparents. So many of you in this room have taken your challenges and your struggles that you've encountered in your journey to make the impossible possible. And I take a look at someone like my mother, who immigrated from India to Canada almost 45 years ago, who hardly spoke English, and then went on to see her daughter in 2004 make history as the first woman of Indian origin elected as a member of parliament in the Western world. I recollect, my friends, in 2004, when we made history, it wasn't just my victory, but it was the victory of not only our Indian diaspora, it was a victory of so many ethnic women, not only in Canada, but throughout the world. It was a victory for women in Canada who were from the Philippines, who were from the African communities, who were from Vietnam, who were from so many of the European countries, because this victory of electing a young woman from an ethnic background allowed them to have a voice at the table. That, my friends, was 2004. And I share with you my first campaign. There was excitement and there was energy across the country. And a few weeks into the campaign, as I looked around, we had hundreds of volunteers. And as I looked in the room, they were all men. And I turned to my mom and I said, "Mom, there's a big issue here." And she says, "What is it?" I said, "We have great support and a lot of volunteers, but 99% of them are all men." And our party office couldn't understand, when they came into my campaign outlet, of why there were all men in the room when there was a young woman who was running for political office. And I said to my mom, I said, "We need to turn this around." It was our first campaign. My mom was extremely nervous, and she said, "Please don't say anything to the men, because if you upset them in any which way, we're going to be left with 0 volunteers, and our voting is 2 weeks away." But I knew that something had to be done. And despite my mom's nervousness, I called a meeting of all of our volunteers. And with my mom's heart beating, of her wanting me to make sure that I wouldn't upset anyone. Because in the Indian community, if you upset one man, not only him, but all of his friends and relatives and everyone else is going to walk. So after appreciating their kindness and their goodness, I said to them, starting from tomorrow, we have a new rule in the campaign office. And they all said, oh, what is it? I said, starting from tomorrow, when you come to the campaign office, you have to bring your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother, your aunt, your grandma, and if you don't have any of those in your life, bring your girlfriend or a girl that you've just met on the street. And they all looked at me and said, yes, no problem. But as everyone would say that I didn't really know if they meant it or not. And I said, there's part B to the rule. And they said, what is it? And I said, starting from tomorrow, if you show up without a woman, I'm going to charge you $20 at the door. So no one wanting to pay any money. From that day forward, it was with great honor and pride to see women come into the office from ethnic communities, volunteer, participate, have their voices heard, be a part of history, and then go on to take leadership roles in all of my 4 campaigns that we ran subsequently. I described to you the victory of 2004, but as all of you know, in 2015, we elected one of our most progressive prime ministers globally, the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. And in the 2015 election, we elected not just the one Indian woman that was there in 2004, but we elected not only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 women of Indian origin elected to Parliament in Canada. And then, as a minister from Czechoslovakia was speaking and talking about the cabinet that they have of 15 people, and out of the 15, where only 3 are women, Justin Trudeau, as our Prime Minister, once again made history by announcing the first cabinet in the world that was 50-50, with 50% women and 50% men. And when someone asked him, they said, why did you go and announce a cabinet with representation that is equal number of men and equal number of women? And his response was very simple, because it's 2015. And I say this and I share this with you because the time and the moment is now. The minister from the Philippines, the minister from the Czech Republic, the honorable guest that spoke from the International Trade Center in Geneva, they've all shared to you the reasons for importance of advancing women, not only economically, but politically and socially. Forbes just did an article a while ago, and they were saying just on International Women's Day that there are more CEOs in the world named John than there are women combined CEOs globally. And when we take a look at those statistics, we realize the amount and the degree of work that needs to be done. And as many of you who are so distinguished in your fields, I want to share with you some ideas, some solutions for ensuring that women are represented and do have a voice at the table. We must start to ensure that not only in government, but in our corporate boardrooms, in our communities, and in our homes, that women are given a stronger voice. Many times as a community and a society, we marginalize what women's issues should be. When we talk about policies and we talk about certain paradigms and areas, a woman's role is in the house. We go into government and we talk about a woman's role or a woman's department as a minister should be one in family services, should be one in healthcare, because those are woman issues. But in this day and age, every issue is a woman's issue. We used to label ourselves, oh, this person is a feminist, this person is not. But it's not about whether you are or aren't a feminist. We're all humanists. When women make up 50% of the world's population. And this is why it is with a great deal of pride for so many of us that our Prime Minister in Canada can ensure that our Foreign Affairs Ministry is led by an amazing, incredible, and competent woman. Because every issue out there is a woman's issue. And we must begin to ensure that in politics, in Parliament, when we design our policies, that they are looked through the lens of a woman, that they are gender specific, and that they are gender sensitive. Each of you can go back into your communities, go back into your businesses, and ensure that your boards have representation from women. There are women out there who are qualified, who are incredibly talented, and who are hardworking. But we must ensure that the opportunities for them are there. And I say to all of the women out here that are in the audience, there were women that came before me that were the trailblazers. And I hope my journey and my struggles are going to open the door for those that are going to follow after. But as all of us women know, we all love to gossip. And as all of us women know, there are many times when women do not support each other. And it is incredibly important that we as women help each other, support each other, because united, we are so much stronger. Go back into our communities, into our homes, into our environments, and start mentorship programs where you engage young women to be able to learn from you. They have the skills, and those young women have the talent. Being given the mentorship opportunity with yourself, they will develop the confidence and the skills that they need to succeed. And I know that there are many speakers, so I don't want to make my speech long. But we must ensure that women are given the opportunity to be educated. We talk about the success in India with over 1 billion people. We talk about India as a powerhouse globally. But we must never forget that there are over 50% of people in this country and 1 billion people who don't have the opportunity for education. You educate a girl, you're not only educating and empowering that one family, you're empowering two. And we must ensure that all women have the opportunity for education, for empowerment, in an environment that is safe and an environment that is secure. I always talk about the 5 C's. As women, C number 1, we must have confidence. Go after your goals and go after your dreams. And let no struggle and no challenge be so great. You know, the minister was talking about always being surrounded in a group of men. I share your, experience, so I've shared your experience, but you go in there with confidence and believe in yourself. C number 2, commit yourself. As a woman, commit yourself to a cause. Commit yourself to ensure that within you, you will do whatever it takes to get the job done. Be credible, to be a person of your word. Your credentials are incredibly important. I never forget when I first got elected, I didn't look like the politician and everyone else was around 70 years old and I was this new young politician in Parliament. And I remember the first time I spoke on an issue dealing with Canada-India trade relationship. And this minister turned to me and said, "Oh wow, you can actually speak." I said, "Yes, I've done a number of different debating championships. I've been involved in politics from many, many years, done hundreds of campaigns as a volunteer. Yes, I can speak in Parliament." "Oh, would you like to do my next speech on my behalf?" And, you know, I share this experience because people will underestimate you. But you go out there and you outwork everybody. While they were all on the dinner circuits and having drinks at, you know, the local restaurant, I was in my office researching and reading to ensure that I built the credentials that were required. And that is what is needed for everyone to succeed in their profession. And pick a cause. Believe in something that is greater than yourself. And to all of the young people that are here in the audience, I say to you, nothing is impossible in life. It is going to be your goals, your dreams that are going to define your destiny. And to all of the young women that are here before you, we are all so blessed to have trailblazers that have achieved great success. But to the young woman, you must pave the path for the future. It is only then that 50% of the population of humanity will succeed. Because when a woman succeeds, all of us will succeed. And having voices of women at your home, in your organizations, and in government will ensure the voices of our mothers, our sisters, and our daughters are at the table. To all the young women that are here, remember, A is for your attitude, B is for your belief, and C is for your courage and your conviction. I want to take a moment to congratulate Rupa, who's the Executive Director, for doing a great job in organizing and bringing all of us together. Let's give her a big round of applause. To Mr. Kamal Maraka, to Vijay, to the entire team of the World Trade Center, United Nations, for being able to bring us together. And in close, I would say to each and every one of you that while we gather here for a 2-day summit, while we talk about the issues that are important to women, and we talk about the solutions, we must ensure that we go back into our communities, into our corporates, and into our governments to ensure that the voices of women are heard, that the women are educated, they have the opportunity for empowerment, that they are safe and they are secure. The work to be done is much, but as Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. So let's work together. Let's unite as women to ensure that we make the impossible possible. Because no mountain is too high and no dream is too big. And I hope one day that the Czech Republic will also have a female prime minister and a female president. If you decide to run, you have a whole campaign team here. We'll all come out to the Czech Republic. But in closing, I want to take the opportunity once again to say thank you so much. It's been a humbling and honoring experience to be among so many distinguished guests. To the youth that are out here in the audience, keep the dream alive, keep the flame going, and to all of the women, united, we are so much stronger. And remember that the sky is the limit. And next time when we convene for the Global Economic Summit and we talk about women, we are hopefully going to have a woman prime minister sitting here up on stage, coming and sharing her experiences, and also another young woman who's going to be dreaming about being the next prime minister or president of his or her country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Dhalla, for that highly inspiring speech, and of course for enumerating the 5 C's for all present.